Hi guys, so I and my daughter live with my parents and siblings. I got pregnant at 17 and had my daughter at 18. I'm still in college and will be going into my sophomore year in the fall. I also work 4 times a week right now, and my boyfriend, the father of my baby, 19M, works full time, but we don't live together. For context, me and my dad have never been on good terms, ever since childhood. He's never liked me and has made that very clear that he feels no obligation to me other than financially. Him and my mom get in these massive blow-up fights where it can get physical. Whenever I'm not home and they get into a fight, my dad will call me and tell me, if I don't get my mom to come back home, it will be my fault, that our family falls apart, and he will ask me over and over how I could let this happen, and if I don't pick up the calls, he will spam call me. And maybe 5 to 6 years I watched him get stabbed from a road rage incident, and he's been worse ever since then. He got addicted to pain pills, like when my sister got knee surgery, we had to hide her pain pills so he wouldn't get them, etc., etc. So basically, my college is about 1.5 hours away from where I live right now, so me and my boyfriend have been looking for apartments in another city to be closer to my college. My parents offered to help us pay for the apartment, which we readily accepted. This is where the problem comes in. Admittedly, I come from money. It wasn't always like that, but my father's business took off, and now he pays for my college in full, every semester, as well as my car. I have always made it very clear it's not something I expect in any way, shape, or form, but they have always said I should save while I can and focus on my schooling, which I have been beyond grateful for. My parents have loved my daughter and have been amazing with her, which I think a part of me has taken everything from them for so long, because they give my daughter everything that I ever wanted, and it makes me so happy. But my dad, since he has a lot of money, it's the one major way he knows to control me and everyone else with my school is expensive, and he threatens to stop paying for my school every time he gets mad. But now he's saying, since he's paying for this apartment, me and my boyfriend can't live together, and I can only get this certain apartment because it's what he wants, but the thing is, I never asked him to pay for it. And we had come up with a plan where my boyfriend would pay half of the rent and other bills, and I would pay for groceries, and my parents would pay my half of the rent and utilities until we were able to get up on our feet. But now, all of a sudden, we aren't allowed to live together because we aren't married, etc., etc. My parents claim to be Christian, but don't read the Bible, don't go to church, don't pray, etc. I am struggle so hard with this because I know we will struggle hard to pay for the entire apartment and utilities and our 2 cats and our daughter and our cars without my parents' help. My dad is now saying I need to live alone with my daughter in the apartment for 6 months before we can even think about my boyfriend moving in, but I know he will just keep postponing it just because he wants to. It's not fair for my boyfriend to have to drive an hour whenever he wants to see his daughter and comply to all of my parents' rules. I'm stuck in such a hard place with my grandparents, telling me I just need to obey my parents. Would I be the if I just left and tried to figure everything out on our own? Sorry if this is scattered. I'm writing this on my phone with one hand because my daughter is asleep on my other arm, lol. Story number 2. I was 2 when my mom married my stepdad, and my stepsister was 9 at the time. My mom adores my stepsister, and as long as I can remember, she's always said she had 2 kids, and my stepdad claims he has 2 as well. My stepsister never called mom her mom or parent though, like she'd always bring up that she had a dad to ask, and I know she used to say she had a parent, not parents. My mom and stepdad were kinda oblivious to that, or they imagined she'd grow to feel differently over time. I'm not really sure. She moved out when she was 19, and we don't see her much. My mom sends care packages and calls and texts and invites her over, but we don't see her really. She had a baby 7 months ago, and my stepdad has met his grandchild. But funny coincidences keep happening, and she's only ever free when mom's busy or has plans and when I'm not around. Though I really don't care. My mom and stepdad have tried super hard to find a time for mom and me to meet and spend time with my stepsister and the baby. But it has never been the right time, like ever. She always has reasons she can't FaceTime mom too, but she can do it when my stepdad asks her when he's on his own. There were times she invited my stepdad over, but of course mom was at work, and same thing when she could randomly stop by was when he'd be home alone. He's seen the baby multiple times now. Yet she's always busy every single time they try to make actual plans. There was even a time she asked my stepdad to get diapers for the baby and told him they could have lunch together. He couldn't, but mom did it instead because she was free and she thought she'd get a few minutes to see her in the flesh. But when she went to drop them off, my stepsister had to run somewhere and she told mom to drop them by the door. I'm aware of everything enough to know that she can probably keep this up for years, and that there will likely always be excuses made. I don't think we'll ever meet her baby, and if we do, she won't be a baby anymore. Maybe a middle schooler or something. The other night, my parents were brainstorming ideas for everyone to get together. They asked me if I could take a weekend off of work to make it happen, and I said I really wanted to keep working and saving. My stepdad told me that's a weekend my stepsister is free, and we could all spend time together and meet the baby. I told him the second we all do that, she's going to suddenly not be available, and I think that should be so obvious right now. They told me that was very pessimistic. I asked how she is always so conveniently free when he's alone, and why her plans seem to change on the regular when it comes to all of us being free to meet the baby. They said life's busy when you have a newborn. I brought up FaceTime, and they said sometimes you're just not able to do that. Mom asked me what I was saying, and I told her we'll never meet that baby and that it's kind of clear to me given everything. They looked so hurt, and I told them if my stepdad said he was free on X day and we were busy, she would be available super fast. Then he admitted he did have plans with my stepsister when mom's going to be out of town. My parents still didn't see it, and they were pretty annoyed that I had the view I do. I don't think it's wrong, but maybe it's not my business to really say stuff like this.